Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel, Our Bean Bunch. I'm Kelly, and normally that's where you would hear, and I'm Christian, but he is at AT and will be gone most of August, except for like the last week. But don't worry, he will still be in all of the unboxing videos for the month. It's just on Vlog Wednesdays, it'll be just me. And if you haven't noticed from the previous video, if I did decide to post the last video, which was Amelia's 10-month update, I'm not sure what's going to go up first, this or that. But if you notice that, pretty much for August, I'm not sure about the last 2 weeks, but the first 2 weeks it's just going to be more of like sit-down videos like this, just because when Christian isn't here, there's really not much that goes on because it's difficult to leave the house with a baby when it's just me and he has the car, blah, 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 you know. So it's going to be pretty much sit-down videos, maybe for the second weeks of August, it may be vlogs, I don't know. It's gonna be a little bit of this, which is good because then we're mixing up things, and there's a lot of sit-down videos that I wanted to do, so I'm going to be able to get them out of the way. And disclaimer now, I'm going to be making a bunch of noise. I am in her room recording. Not really much I can do about that. So, in today's video, I'm going to be doing a story time of how I found out I was pregnant at 19 years old and how I told my family, and just pretty much the story of my pregnancy. This is future Kelly here. I just wanted to hop on here and do a quick disclaimer. I wanted to make sure that you guys know that I am in no way promoting teen pregnancy or trying to glorify it in any way, shape, or form. I'm just telling you my story and my experience. And also, if you are not an adult, this may be a video you want to watch supervised because I do touch on certain subjects involving pregnancy that I wouldn't necessarily know. I would just clarify with your parents before you watch this video. And maybe if you're not of age to really understand pregnancy or how that comes to be, you should possibly click off of this video. But that's all. Enjoy, guys. So I did a lot of thinking before deciding to record this video because with any teen pregnancy story, it is hard to tell a story without spilling tea because there's just nasty and cruel people in the world who don't understand that no matter the age you are, a child is a blessing. And I mean, I know that that's just my personal opinion. It shouldn't be just personal opinion. It should be just common sense in my personal opinion. But babies are blessings. Like, there you go, they're blessings. I didn't really necessarily personally consider my pregnancy a teen pregnancy because 3 months after I had my daughter, I turned 20. And my doctors technically wasn't considered a teen pregnancy either because high-risk pregnancies, as far as being young, end at 18. Once you're 19 years old, it is no longer considered a high-risk teen pregnancy. At that point, it's just an adult pregnancy. But because the age has the word teen in it, 19 becomes just this it still is such a stereotyped age. And I'm not in any way promoting having children young, but in my situation, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, having my daughter. Yeah. But there definitely was negative Nancy's in our situation, and that was okay because that was their issue, not mine. I in no way... Of course, at times, I was affected by people's negativity. Yeah? She's playing. Of course, I was affected by some people's negativity, but at the end of the day, I was fine. I personally never cried about being pregnant. I never was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? Like, I genuinely didn't have those feelings. And I know a lot of people do. It just, when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, okay, I'm pregnant. Like, what are we gonna do next? Like, so I will just get to the beginning of the story. So at this point, me and my husband at the time were engaged, and we had been engaged for 3 months. And we had to go to the state, and shortly after we came back to our home state, which is Florida, I knew I was pregnant. Like, I had this gut feeling, and I kept telling him, I was like, you know what, I think I'm pregnant. And he was like, no way, you're not pregnant. And I was like, yeah, I am. And eventually I convinced him that we were going to go get, like, a cheap Dollar Tree pregnancy test, like the little, like, 99-cent pregnancy test, because he was completely convinced I wasn't, and I was completely convinced I was. Like, I knew I was. It was just, like, that weird gut mom feeling. So I have this little, like, notepad where I wrote down, like, dates and stuff. So it was the January 26th of 2018 that I took my first pregnancy test, and it had a super faint line to the point where Christian was like, you pregnant really? Like, that's nothing. I was like, it's a line, and the box says if there's any line, it's positive. And of course he was like, nah. So then the following day, so the 27th of 2018, January, I took another one of the cheap dollar store pregnancy tests, and on that one, the line was, Amelia. What? No running. So then that line was slightly darker, and at that point, like, he still was like, okay, I guess you're pregnant. And I was like, I'm pregnant. But at that point, he was hoping I was. Like, we were now excited because these tests had said this thing, and it was like, this is awesome. You know, not necessarily the plan that we had originally decided for, like, the stepwise, but we had already known we wanted children, so we were both happy about it. So then, from there, because it was like the end of January, we kind of were like, we're pregnant, but not thinking about it 24/7 kind of thing. At this time, I was a dance teacher, a vocal coach, and I was a competitive dancer, and he was working, and we did not live in the same house at the time. So from there, we were like, yeah, I'm pregnant, like, we're just gonna keep doing our thing. So then on February 4th, 2018, we went to a Dollar General and decided to get... Yeah? Are you a YouTuber you gotta talk to? So we decided to get one of those digital pregnancy tests to be 100% positive either way, so we just knew. And we took it in my bathroom. My like bedroom had like a bathroom attached to it at the time, and we like watched it and we were like impatiently looking and waiting. You know, I kind of felt like either way, like if I am or I'm not, like, so be it. And you know, he kind of felt the same way, but of course he was excited because he had always dreamed of having kids. And then when it popped up pregnant, like, we smiled and we hugged and we like laughed and we're like, oh my god, Amelia, pregnant. So at that point we had officially known, like, we knew we were pregnant at that point. And of course we were super excited, and from there, you know, talking about names, talking about gender, talking about this, talking about that. So I decided to tell my mom. I knew that my mom wouldn't be angry, like, she wouldn't be angry or upset. She's always had a very similar view to my view, is that, like, babies are blessings, and that is what it is. Like, they are blessings. There's no need to cry about them. There's no need to be angry about them. All that needs to be spread is love, especially considering that in early stages, especially, all moms need when they're pregnant is positivity, and if you are spreading anything besides that, like, you just don't belong in that pregnant person's life at all. Like, you don't. So, and that's how my mom raised me, was just that you should always have positivity, and, you know, basically if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But when I told my mom, it was actually Valentine's Day, and I was just about to leave for a dance competition, I had to leave like the next day. Was it Valentine's Day? Yeah, Valentine's Day is in February, so it was Valentine's Day. So before I had told my mom, we had made the decision that we were going to wait till April. Because that was originally when we had set to get married, was we were going to get married on April 16th? 12th? I don't know. I had a specific day that in April that I was going to get married. Maybe it's April 18th? Anyway, we were going to go get married. And then after we got married, we were going to tell my family because I grew up in a religious family. I thought it would go over better if we just continued our plan to get married in April and just tell them. So it was not a planned thing at all whatsoever for me to tell her on Valentine's Day. I had just been sitting in her room, and I kind of knew at that point that I was going to tell her before April, unlike our plan to tell everyone else in April. I have a very close relationship with my mom, and to be honest, keeping anything from her ever like drove me insane. Like as a kid, if I would say I brushed my teeth and I didn't, I would be like in my room like, I just want to get up and tell her, and that's always how like I handle things as a kid. I already known that it was gonna count, but on Valentine's Day I was sitting in her bedroom on a chair, and somehow the conversation wandered over to having kids and pregnancy, and I remember saying, whenever I do decide to have kids, will you be angry or disappointed in me? And then she said, of course not. And I said, oh, well, I had sex and I'm pregnant. Those were my words, is I'm pregnant. So I will say that that was the only time that I technically really cried about my pregnancy, but I didn't cry because I was pregnant whatsoever, because at that point I was extremely happy that I was pregnant. I already loved my baby. But I cried because I was afraid that I had disappointed my mom, but she did a really good job at reassuring me and letting me know that she wasn't disappointed in me whatsoever. Of course, she wished I had waited a little bit longer, but now there's a baby, and that's all that we need to focus on, is that the baby's healthy, that I'm healthy, and that I'm happy. That way, the baby will be happy and healthy and comfortable, because when you are pregnant, the baby is what matters. Point blank. And I need to be happy and healthy and comfortable and strong. That way my baby can be all of those things as well. As far as telling my other family members, I technically didn't tell any of them. They just kind of guessed, and then it was like a, yeah. So it was actually while I was at that next competition, that competition that I was going to the day after I told my mom, that my sister went to the competition because her son, my nephew, was also in it, and my niece? I think my niece might have been in that competition as well. And my sister just noticed that my face looked fat. And, I mean, I have been nauseous, so, I mean, it was kind of a big giveaway. But she just noticed that my face was fat, so she, like, called my mom and was like, is Kelly pregnant? And my mom was like, yeah. And that's it for how my sister found out. And then from there, my sister texted me and was just like, just so you know, I know everything, which is like such a thing that I would say to my nieces or nephews, so I guess me and my sister are a lot alike, because I would definitely say that exact same thing. Like, I say that thing all the time, like whenever I know something's going on and then I find out for sure, I'll be like, I know everything. But, so she messaged me just letting you know I know everything, and not necessarily saying that she knew this specific thing, but like, I knew how she was saying it, like, I see all, like that's what she was getting at from it. And she was like, and I love you, and I'm here for you, and she was super supportive as well. My brother pretty much found out the exact same way. He had just noticed that I've been super nauseous, and just asked my mom and was like, is Kelly pregnant? And she was like, yeah. And my mom said that how he reacted was that he wasn't really expecting the answer to be yeah, but it was. Come here, come here. Come here. And then, from how I was told that my sister-in-law found out was very similar, but basically that she was just told. I think that my brother just told my sister-in-law, was like, hey, Kelly's pregnant. And she was like, no way. And then they were like, yeah. And she was like, okay. Everyone in my family was super supportive of me, and it really made the whole pregnancy so much easier. having a really supportive family and people who cared about me and loved me. Without having their support, it would have been much more difficult, especially because I wasn't driving and there was lots of appointments that I needed to get to. And of course, my husband was extremely supportive too. Honestly, the best husband you could ever have, especially during a pregnancy. He really, thank you. Are you tricking me? She's trying to give me something and taking it. He was super supportive and loving and kind. And I mean, we really got through all of the hard times, especially because my morning sickness was absolutely awful. We got through that together amazingly. I remember him always having to pull over so I could vomit, or, you know, just everything. He always made sure I had all the snacks that I needed. He would put my shoes on for me because I became real fat. I gained, I think, 48 pounds. No, 58 pounds. 48 or 58 pounds during my pregnancy, and I was really small during my pregnancy up until the very end, and then all of a sudden I was super fat. And pretty much that's all I'm really going to be sharing as far as how I told people, because it really is just like I just wanted to share my experience with my family and my friends. If you ever want to know Christian's experience of how he told his family, that's totally his own experience and own story, and I don't feel that those are my stories to tell, but you can definitely comment down below if that's something you'd ever be interested in hearing. How I told my best friends was very just blunt. I just was like, I'm pregnant, and that's like it. If you would like a separate story time of how I told my friends, because of course there's funny little stories to go with each and every one of them. So if you would like a separate story time of how I told my friends that I was pregnant, definitely comment down below. So I'm going to give you just a couple more random details of my pregnancy. It was February 14th, 2018 when I finally called a doctor and was like, I'm pregnant, what do I do from here? And on February 16th, they clarified that I was pregnant. They thought I was a lot farther along than I was. They told me that I was 9 weeks pregnant when I went to my first appointment, and that wasn't true. My first real appointment where I got to hear her heartbeat was March 7th, 2018, and then on April 4th, 2018 is when I got to see her first ultrasound, and oh my gosh. It was crazy because she was just so beautiful from the first ultrasound. I was like, she's gorgeous. I didn't know she was a girl because we did a gender reveal party. April 21st, that's when we found out she was a girl. In here I have a bunch of sweet little notes to her. A list of all the different appointments that I went to. I kind of wanted to make this like a baby book. She has an actual baby book where it's like specific spots, but I wanted to make one where like I kind of decorated it myself. I drew like little glucose bottle from the sugar test. And like there's so much in here. I could do so many separate story times. So pretty much the story time is just how I found out I was pregnant and how I told my family. But there's like oops, I thought I was in labor like a month early. Like there's so much I could tell you guys about. And our baby shower. And Amelia was born on September 28th, 2018, and her due date was September 30th, 2018. I had a crazy, traumatic birth, but it was beautiful because both mine and Christian's family all came together to be a part of the journey. When I actually gave birth, it was only me, my husband, and my mom in the room. But my mom wasn't even planned to be in the room. My sister was supposed to be in my room, but it was like a crazy birth. But everyone came together, all sides of the family. Everyone was there. Everyone was supportive and loving and kind. And that's all I could ask for, especially for my daughter. That's all I have ever wanted for her was a full, beautiful, big family, and that is what she has. But I did have a crazy, traumatic, terrifying birth. Not all are like that, but ours was kind of like that. And honestly, that would be a crazy story time if you guys are interested in hearing how I had to be induced, I was sick, and how I there's so much, like, I don't want to give it away, but, like, I was in labor for multiple days in a hospital, but gave birth super fast, and a bunch of other crazy stuff. I have some tea I could spill about my birth, to be honest. Amazing hospital with some not so amazing people working there. Some of the people, honestly, I could do a story time just about the employees there. Some were, like, amazing. Like, I can't even express how amazing some people were there, and then some, yeah. But if that's something you're interested in, please comment down below so I know that that's something you guys want to hear. It would be honestly a long and crazy story. And if you really like this story, finding out a little bit more about me and my daughter Amelia, let me know, like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell if you would like to. And if you'd like to know more about my pregnancy with Amelia, I would love to share more of all the crazy details in my little book. But that's it for now. And Christian's calling. Hello, that bug. Amelia says, Daddy! Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell if you would like to. Bye, guys.